At 12 principles that you can use in your recovery program, and also if you're not in recovery, that you can practice in your daily life to help improve the quality of your life. So let's get started. Number one is hope. Sometimes we don't believe that there's hope for us in the future, but sometimes our hope's got to be based upon other people that was in the program that we've seen that have lived this program, somebody that we might have known out in the streets that is now in this recovery process, and we're seeing them doing very well. That's where our hope can come from. We can start that process with that hope, and then that hope will translate from us to other people that come in after us. So hope is a very important principle to have in your recovery and in your personal life. You can use that. 2, surrender. In order for us to surrender, we have to know what it is that we need to surrender from. In recovery, we're surrendering that we're powerless over the disease of addiction. And by surrendering that control, we actually gain a far greater power, because now we're focusing on the things to do, because we can't help the fact we have a disease, but we can help what we do on the way to our recovery journey. Same thing in your regular life, normal life. If you're not in recovery, you know something in your life that's bothering you that you need to surrender to. And once you surrender to it, you can move forward. You can look at why you need to surrender to it, and you'll gain the strength and courage you need to move forward by just surrendering and not having to fight anymore. Number 3, acceptance. Sometimes we don't accept things, and in recovery, we have to accept the things we cannot change. We have to have the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's our serenity prayer. And if you live by that, you will be able to accept the things that come through your recovery and be able to deal with them. Same in your personal life. The serenity prayer can be used for anyone. 4, honesty. Of course, honesty is very important, because we have to first be honest and truthful with ourselves in order for us to be honest and truthful for other people. With our regular personal life too. We have to know what we're honest about in ourselves, and by us being honest and knowing, calling things on us and knowing when we're doing something we're not supposed to be doing, being honest with it, we can have the ability to be honest with others and either sharing with them about that or anything that we have to deal with them. But the honesty starts with ourselves. Number 5, open-mindedness. When you first get in your recovery, you got to be open to the things that can happen in your life, the things that will go on, and you got to be open to the new changes that are going to come in your life as a result of you not using drugs and finding a new way to live. Well, in life, you got to be open to things. You have to have an open mind when you're trying to accomplish something at work, at home, plan something. You have to be open-minded in terms of letting yourself know that I have to not have a closed mind about this and not just see things one way. By being open-minded, you broaden your horizons and you're able to see things a lot more clearly than just a tunnel-wise way of looking at things. Number 6, willingness. I have to be willing to change the things that I can, like I said in the serenity prayer. Sometimes we can want to do something and know it needs to be done, but the willingness needs to come before we can do it in some cases. Personal life, same way. Have to be willing to change things in your life, your family, your friends, who you be around. If you see something that you know that's not right, and you know that you're going to be headed down the road that you don't need to be headed down, you have to have the willingness to change that. And it can be difficult and it can be fearful, but by doing this, you'll know that you're doing the right things. 7, faith. Faith is the things that you believe in that are actually unseen. So sometimes we have to have faith in things even when we can't see them. We have to believe that later on down the line in my recovery road, if I continue to do the things that I am doing, I will receive the benefits that come along with recovery. Just like with personal life, you have to have faith in a lot of things you do. You have to have faith in other people. You have to have faith in yourself. You have to have faith in your kids, your friends, your family. And you have to believe that things are going to work out for the better. And your faith comes from a power greater than yourself, whoever you choose to call that. And even if you don't have a power greater than yourself, you still can have faith. You just have to know where your faith is based upon and where it's coming from. Number 8, tolerance. You got to be able to tolerate and deal with things that are new in your life, that have to be there. If you go to a job, that job is new in your life, maybe you have to tolerate some people that might be there that you might not necessarily care for, or you might not hang out with if you weren't there. But tolerating something doesn't mean you have to put up with. It just means you have to deal with the fact that they are going to be there, and you can still have your boundaries on what you're going to accept from them and what you're not going to accept. Recovery or personal, regular life. Number 9, patience. A guy told me early in my recovery that patience was the ability to go through a waiting situation without complaining or becoming angry. And a lot of times I thought when I waited for stuff, I displayed patience. But during that waiting, I was angry, complaining, worrying. So I really wasn't displaying patience. It's a calmness that comes along with having patience to do something, or having patience to deal with a client or a family member. It's a certain calmness that you need to have in order to endure whatever it is that's going on. Recovery or regular normal life. Number 10, humility. You have to learn how and when to be humble. You have to not be arrogant. You can't be, even though things start going right in your recovery and in your life, you can't have an arrogance about it. You have to remain humble. You have to remain appreciative of everything that's happened to you and everything that you're gaining in life, because it could be going just like that. Recovery or not recovery. 11, unconditional love. I used to think that I was just going to pick and choose who I wanted to be a good person and a caring person too. And I had to learn unconditional love is just being unconditional with your love to all people. That doesn't mean you have to love everybody. That means you have to have a certain unconditional caring about human life in general. That's recovery or regular normal life. And last but not least, number 12, sharing and caring with others. One of the best ways that you can assure that your recovery will be maintained and you don't have to go back to using drugs is by sharing your experiences and caring about other people and letting people know where you are. I can't emphasize this enough. If you do not let people know what's going on with you, where you are, and you try to deal with everything on your own like you did before you got here, then you start driving that car by yourself that you were driving before you got in recovery that crashed into the program. You have to let other people help you in this program. And then when you go to work, when you go to the store, when you go home, you have to have a sharing and caring attitude in all things. And if you practice these 12 principles, I can almost guarantee that your quality of your life will improve. You like anything I said in this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and until the next time, the Libra Man is out.